Hello people, my name is Ferdy and in this video I will show you how you can create a mega menu using Elementor Pro. This tutorial is part of a complete Elementor Pro tutorial that you can watch for free by going to ferdy.com/Elementor Pro. Hit enter and there you see the tutorial and all the other tutorials that are attached to that tutorial so you can learn anything you need to learn in order to create amazing websites using Elementor Pro. If you don't have Elementor Pro yet, let me show you how you can get it. You can go to ferdy.com/Elementor. Hit enter. And you'll be redirected to the Elementor Pro plugin page. There are 4 plans. If you take a look at the essential plan, that's for one website, but it does not have all the widgets there are. And it's also missing a few important features we need in this tutorial. So I would go for the advanced plan. That's €99 or dollars per year. You can install it on 3 websites, you have premium support and 82 widgets, and you also have the pop-up builder, custom code and CSS, e-commerce features and collaborative notes. If you like the video, then please like it, and if you want to learn more about making websites, then you can subscribe. Now let's get started. In order to create a mega menu in Elementor Pro, you need to go to the backend of your website. We scroll down and then we go to Elementor Settings. We go to the features and you need to make sure that the mega menu is active or the menu activated. And if you do that, you also need to have the Flexbox container and the nested elements active. So the Flexbox container, where is it? Where are you? Well, nested elements active. I think nested containers are, or Flexbox container is already active by default. So save the changes and now we can create a cool mega menu. I already created this header. If you want to learn how you can create this header, go to YouTube and search for Elementor Pro custom header 30. Hit enter. And there it is. 2 weeks ago, I will show you step by step how to create this amazing header. And when you scroll down, there appears a new header. So I want to use this header and then implement the mega menu. So I go to edit with Elementor and I want to edit the homepage header. If you have no template yet, if you don't have a template yet, you can go to the backend, go to Elementor, and below that is templates, theme builder, go to the header, click on add new, and then start from there. Well, I will go to the homepage header. And what I will do, if I scroll down, the sticky menu appears. There I have a WordPress menu. I want to get rid of that by clicking here. Then I click on the plus and I search for mega. And what appears is the menu. No mega menu, but if you search for menu, it can be a little bit weird or confusing. There's the WordPress menu and the menu. Of course, if you take a look at the icon, you see it's kind of a mega menu, but I prefer to search for mega. And then this appears. Then I need to drag it in between. It can be quite challenging, as you see. If I release it, nothing happens. I need to see a pink area. Yes. So, and the difference is, normally with a normal WordPress menu, the information will be fetched from the menus we have created using WordPress. But we're going to create this from scratch using Elementor. So, I can click on Publish. I can click on the eye so I can preview the changes. And if I click on the logo of my header, I go to the homepage. So I need to place this manually. About Ferdy tutorials. Okay, let's do that. I go for item 1 and I say about Ferdy. And I search for the page about Ferdy. I create a new one that is tutorials and I search for the page tutorials. So it will be linked to that page, tutorials. Let me fast forward. So there you go. Now I want this to be displayed and especially the submenu, the mega menu in full width. So it will be from here until here. That's what I want. You can also say fit to the content, but then it will become really small. I don't want that. The item layout horizontal, yes. Item position, I want it to be in the center, like that. That's better. And then if you have a drop-down indicator, how does it look? Well, you can go to the icon library. I like the default one, so I stick with this one. But if you want to find a new one, you can click over here and go for another one. Then there's the drop-down effect. Open on hover. So when I hover over about Ferdy and there's a submenu or a mega menu, it will appear automatically. You don't want to click on it. So I prefer to say hover. If you want it to appear when people click, then you can make it clickable. I prefer hover. Do you want to have an animation? Well, I like that. Fade in, half a second. So you'll see in a minute how that will look. Then there's that menu toggle. I leave it as it is. And then there are additional settings. Horizontal scroll, disable, and breakpoint. I say none. There will be no breakpoint. I'm gonna use this mega menu as a desktop menu, and I'm not gonna use it for a tablet or a smartphone. That's where I can use the pop-up menu, so you can combine those. So for a big screen, the desktop, I will use a mega menu. For the tablet and the smartphone, I will use the triggered pop-up menu, and I will refer you to a tutorial that will show you how to create something like that. So let's go to the styling. Space in between the items. You can increase that. I leave it as it is for now. I want to go to the typography. Go to the transform, uppercase. Then I go to the weight, semi-bold, and it can be a little bit smaller. So I go to the size. I think 15 is fine. Keep in mind that when you have a submenu or a mega menu, there will be another icon, so that will increase the space, and I don't want it to be in 2 rows. So there's not much space left. Okay, when you hover over it, what should happen? By default, the color, I want it to be color 3. Hover, I want it to be the orange color. Like that. And the active one can also be orange. Then there's the icon, drop-down indicator. Well, this is all fine for now. If I click on publish, and I go to the home page, now you see the normal menu. But if I scroll down, this will appear. And in order to see it better, I will go to my user preferences at my profile, and I will get rid of this bar when I'm on my website. So over here, the toolbar, turn it off, update. So now if I go to the website, there's no toolbar. If I scroll down, this is how it looks. By the way, I'm exporting a video and I'm recording this video. So that's why my computer is a little bit slow when it comes to animations. We've created all the menu items. Now it's time to start working with the mega menu functionalities. Let me show you how. So let's talk about the mega menu. Let's start with something simple, tutorials and blog. I go to the menu by clicking here or clicking here. If I don't need this, I close this, get a bit more space. Click over here. I go to the content. I want to talk about the blog page. So I open it and then I say create drop down content. I turn it on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I click on this, I can create anything that I can create using Elementor Pro. How cool is that? I think it's really cool. So I click on the plus. I want to go for everything below each other. And then I want to start with a heading. And I say recent blog posts. Now with a P to make it complete. Well, I don't want to display it as big as this, so I go to the style. The text color, I want it to be orange. Typography, let's say transformation, capitalized, so every first letter of a word is in the capital. The size, how about 14? No, 16. And then semi-bold. Yes. Okay. I go to the inner container, advanced, and I say uncheck the padding. Then I click on the plus and I can go for the recent posts. So I go for the posts, drag it below, and by default it will show the latest blog posts, the 6 latest blog posts. 3 columns, classic. I want to go with 3 posts. No masonry, the image resolution a little bit bigger. The image ratio, I don't want to have any ratio, so I get rid of it. So it shows the images perfectly. I prefer 16:9. That's personally what I prefer. And I don't want to show a title or an excerpt. or read more. I can show this information if I want to. I can also get rid of it over here. I can also go to the style, bring everything to the center, go to the content, and then change the color of the meta information to text so it will be dark. If you want to, you can show it like this. So then there's one more thing here at the container, the layout container. I want to change the gap to 20, so there's less space over here. I think this looks nice. So what happens if I publish this and I go to the website? Right now I see the normal menu, but if I scroll down, then I see the blog. It looks like that. If I click over here, I go to that page. But there's no response over here, so it looks a little bit static. So in order to fix that, I click over here. Let's go to the image. And when I hover over it, I want something to happen. So I go to the CSS filters. I want to increase the brightness a bit, increase the contrast a bit, and the saturation a bit. Now when I hover over it, you see some kind of response. If you'd go for the loop builder, you have more options in order to make things respond when you hover over it. But right now, I'm okay with this. I will show you in a minute how you can create the loop builder in the mega menu. Right now, it's displaying the latest post. I'm okay with this. Let me duplicate or copy this whole container. Right mouse click, copy, publish. Then I go to the mega menu. I go to tutorials. I click on the drop down content, turn it on. Now when I click over here, right mouse click, paste. There I go. Over here I say recent tutorials. And here I go to content, query, and I change it, the source from post to tutorials. So now it shows the latest tutorials with the date and the amount of comments. Publish. I click on the logo. I scroll down a bit. This is the blog page, or the blog mega menu. And this is the same thing, but then with tutorials. So what we've done so far with the mega menu is quite basic. Drag an element in it and configure it a bit. Let me show you a little bit more in-depth stuff in creating a mega menu item submenu drop-down thing that comes out of the sky of your website when you hover over one of the items. Let's do that. If I go to About Ferdy, I want to show some information about myself and my personal recent blog post and my personal recent tutorials, because maybe this website is with multiple users. So then I can say something about Ferdy and show only Ferdy's most recent tutorials and blog posts. So I go to the menu, About Ferdy. I create a drop down area. And then I click over here. Okay, look at this. I have a container already. Let me grab the structure right now because it's going to be a bit more complicated right now. So there's item 1. Item 1 is about Ferdy. I can also rename this About Ferdy. In that, there's nothing yet. So what I can do, I can click on the plus and I go for a container. I drag it in here. There I go. I have a container in a container. I can duplicate the container. So now I have 2 containers in one container. So the About Ferdy is also a container. So here I can say, I don't want the containers in this container to be below each other, but I want them to be next to each other. Then I go to this container. I go to advanced, uncheck the padding. I go to this one, advanced, and I make the padding 30. Here at the first container, I double click and I say image Ferdy. Second one, I say recent content. So image Ferdy, that container, I want to give it a style, a background with an image of myself. Over here, this one. I want to make the size cover. Then I go to layout, content width, I make it full width, and then I change the percentage to 40, like that. And this will adjust automatically. Then I go over here and let me go over here, because if I go to the menu, it's now too big. So I go to the style, typography, make it 14. Now it fits again. I go to the block area, copy this, go back to about Ferdy, right mouse click, and I paste it. I want to show my recent blog posts. And then this time I say Ferdy's recent blog post. Below I can make use of the loop builder. So I can click on the plus, search for loop. I go for a loop grid. I want it to be here below. Okay, I create a template. I like to save the changes, and this looks a little bit weird probably. Yes, it looks really weird. So I click over here. I call this for now the mega menu loop with an L, otherwise it will be in front of this area. Or I can just say mega menu loop. Publish. What I can do now, I can click over here, go to the theme builder, go to the loop item, and I search for the mega menu loop. I click on edit, and now everything is chill again, as you see. So this is a loop. So whatever I will display over here will be displayed in my mega menu. So I'm talking about my recent blog posts. So I want to make use of a flex box, everything below each other. The first thing I want to add is an image. And I want it to be fetched from the featured image. Yes, and below that, really simple, I want to have a post title. That's it. No H1, but H2. Then I go to the style and I say a typography, transform it to capitalize and change this to, let's say, 16 and semi-bold. Then I want to go to the container, advanced, uncheck the padding, and I want to go to the layout and I say the gap should be 20 pixels or even 10 pixels. Okay, now since I use a loop builder, I have more freedom to do whatever I want. So I go to the image, I go to advanced, close the layout, and I go to transform. And when people hover over it, I want to have an offset of 10 pixels, like that. Over here, this is fine. So I publish it. Then I go back here to the homepage header. I scroll down about 30. There I am again. So right now I see my recent blog post, and when I hover over it, it looks like that. So I like that. I click over here so I can decide how much I want to show over here. So I say I want to have 2 columns and I want to display 2 items. That's it. Equal height, yes. The query, I want to get the most recent blog post, so that's all fine. But what I want to do, I want to be included by a certain author. The author is Ferdy. So only my blog post will be displayed. Okay. Now it's going to be a bit more tricky, because over here I have 2 containers. There's one big container, and in that I have a left one with my image and right this area. But I want to have 2 of these areas below each other with a background. So how can I fix that? Well, I would like to go to the plus, search for a container, drag it in between, but somehow Elementor is having a hard time. Yeah, there it was. Okay, let's try it. Okay, you know, I'll just try. Yeah, there it is. Okay. There it is. That's what I want. Now I drag this container over here. And here I say at advanced, nothing, but at the layout, I say show things below each other. So over here, I call this one recent content. And in that container, I have recent posts. I duplicate this area and that should be below this area. Yes. Okay. And now over here, I click and I say Ferdy's recent tutorials. And then over here, I click on this area and I change the query to tutorials. So now over here, it shows my recent blog post, my recent tutorials. So let's see how that will look on the website. When I scroll down, about Ferdy, it looks like that. Well, I want to change that. So what I will do over here, I want to go to the style, the background, to the border, and create a border of 25. Then I go to the upper container and I uncheck this, but let's make it 30 at the top and 30 at the bottom. Then I go to the style and background. I can make it a different color, but I prefer to have no background. So I can choose white, for instance, and then make it transparent by dragging it to the left. And now we can go to the recent post container, this one. I can go to the style, background, and make it white. No, that's not what I want. Sorry, I want to go to the recent post. So not this whole container, but the container in the container, in this case, recent post, style, classic, white, and then at border, I say 25. Let's see if I can duplicate the style only. Paste the style. No. So I go to the recent post, get rid of this. And again, I do the same thing. Background, white, border, 25, advanced, padding, 30, 30, 30, 30. So now, when I publish it and I take a look at the website, I scroll down a bit and I hover over here. I see an image of myself, Ferdy's recent blog post, Ferdy's recent tutorials. I need to make them clickable. So let me edit this template. Click over here, link to the custom URL, which is the post URL. There you go. Now everything will be fixed because we're using the same loop builder for everything. And what we can do if we want to, let me go save and back. And I can scroll down, click over here, click on the container. And instead of making it white and transparent, I can also make it one of the colors of my website, text, and then only make it a bit darker. Publish, go to the home page, I scroll down. Now it looks like that. Now I can click on all these things. Then I will go to that blog post or to that tutorial. What I see is that this is really close to the logo. So if I hover over here, this submenu or mega menu, look at this space. I want to get rid of that. In order to do that, I go to the menu by clicking here. Then I go to style and space or distance from content. Okay, so I open this and now I can increase this until it's perfectly fitting. Like that. And now it just looks better, if you ask me. I go to the website, I scroll down, and then it looks like that. One more thing. With a mega menu element within Elementor Pro, you cannot create a submenu. You can, but you have to do it a different way. So let me show you how you can create a submenu, simple submenu in the mega menu. Over here I have a submenu. How can I create that? Well, let me show you. I go to the content, to courses. I open it. So I click on courses, click over here, arrow down, click on the plus, and I go for a list. I go for the affiliate marketing course. Close this, close this. Then I get rid of the icon. I duplicate it over here. I say WordPress course. And then the third one, e-commerce course. Of course, I can link them to the right places. So I say affiliate marketing course. Then the WordPress course. And then the e-commerce course. Okay. I go to the style, bring them to the center, go for the icon. I need to do nothing because I don't have an icon. I go for the text, typography. I make them uppercase. I make them semi-bold. I go for the list, then increase the space in between. I go for the text, make it a bit smaller. How about 14? Then I go to this container, advanced, uncheck. I go to this one, advanced, uncheck. So how will that look on the website? Courses. Now it's over the whole width. I can go to the outer container, go to the style, choose a color, and then make it transparent. Then I can go to the element. I go to advanced, background, make it white. Then I go to layout and the width. I do custom in pixels. Now I can change it like that. Although I think, okay, that's fitting. Then I can bring it to the center. I can make use of a border. So I can say 25. And then we have something like that. So now when I hover over here, affiliate marketing course, WordPress course, an e-commerce course. And if I want to, I can go to this container, advanced, uncheck, and I say 20 pixels. So for this one, since it's not a mega menu, I can make sure it does not stick. So I have this. I have most recent tutorials, most recent blog posts, and that's how you can use Elementor and the mega menu to create anything you want in your mega menu. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you arrived to this point and you're seeing this, then I want to thank you because thanks to you, the average watch time is increased because you arrived at the end of this tutorial. So thank you for that, because then my tutorial will be found better and I can make more sales with Elementor Pro. And isn't that what it's all about in life? Making as much money as possible and then give it away. No, I don't think so. Making money is great, giving it away is great, but I think it's not the goal in life. You know, the goal in life. Thank you for watching this tutorial again, and good luck with your website and with everything you do. Please like the video and feel free to subscribe for more upcoming WordPress related tutorials, and also a bit of e-commerce, affiliate marketing. That. Bye bye.